He escaped her knife, but not her grip. A man broken by love fights to free his mind from a woman who rewires his soul. Her voice calls him back, luring him into a strange cult's edge. Can he resist her pull? Or will he fall forever? Step into my haunted crypt, where hearts are trapped and choices burn, for a tale of terror narrated in the dark. I knew from the start it was a mistake. From the first moment I met her, I felt it deep down. We weren't meant to be. I should have run, fast as I could, faster even, but I didn't. Something held me back, not just my usual laziness, but something else, something I couldn't name. It was like a hook in my brain, keeping me stuck. Weeks in, I didn't like her. I saw it clear as day. We were wrong for each other, but she'd already moved in, her stuff crowding my apartment, her voice crowding my head. The months that followed felt like brainwashing, but the kind where you're awake, watching yourself fall apart. I was a puppet, stumbling from one shame to the next, knowing it was me, but unable to stop. She'd rewired me, turned me into someone who'd take the blame for her mess. If she hadn't stopped me, I'd probably still be with her. Even that wasn't enough to break free at first. Lying on the floor, blood seeping from my side, I waited for her to call an ambulance. I told myself it was my fault. She didn't mean to hurt me. Not really. She used a small knife, not even a steak knife. Just some tiny blade I didn't know the name of. It was sharp. Sharper than she expected, I told myself. I even said it out loud to her, my voice weak before I blacked out. My friends saved me. They stayed by my hospital bed day after day, especially when the wound got infected and I nearly died. They hit my phone, deleted her calls, told her to stop. At first, I thought she'd gone for help, not fled, but they showed me the truth. She'd packed her bags, take everything, and left me to die. That's when I started to see her for what she was. They gave me tough love, took the phone from my hands when she called, told her I'd press charges if she didn't stop. Eventually, I could ignore her calls myself, delete her messages without listening. Then she stopped calling. I felt free, like a weight lifted. Months later, I barely thought of her. I was me again. Then, driving on the turnpike, my phone buzzed. No name, just a number, unlisted, not local. Pennsylvania, maybe Ohio. Telemarketer, I figured, and let it go to voicemail. No message. It rang again, same number. I ignored it, kept driving. When it buzzed the third time, my hand moved before I could think, picking it up. Hello? I said. Wrong number, I think. But it wasn't. It was her. Tammy's voice, sharp and familiar, hit me like a punch. She was at a convenience store, she said, missing me, thrilled to hear me. They kept you from me, didn't they? She said. Blood pounded in my ears. I couldn't speak. I joined the cult, she said, casual as anything. The Children of Light. I didn't know it was a cult then, but it was. They kicked me out. She laughed, bitter. Who get kicks out of a cult? Me, I guess. Wrong number. I tried again, my mouth dry. Don't play dumb, she snapped. It's me, Star. That's my name now. I'm not Tammy anymore. They can exile me, but they can't take my name. I swallowed, said nothing. The phone felt heavy against my ear. Hello? She said. You didn't hang up, did you? I hung up. If I hadn't been driving alone on that endless turnpike, I might have been okay. If I'd had an exit, a place to pull over, I could have fought it. But her voice had awoken something in me, that old control she'd wired into my head. She called again, and again, 15 times in 8 minutes. Each ring chipped away at me like a hammer on stone. I knew I'd answer eventually, even as I tried to resist. I planned what to say. I'd tell her we were done, that she'd stabbed me, left me for dead. How could she think I'd talk to her? But when I picked up, I froze. What happened? She said. Phone die? Cell service sucks. Still got that crappy carrier I told you to ditch? Tammy, I started. Star, she cut in, sharp. No Tammy here, Star. The thing is, did I tell you about the cult? She said, her voice like a blade. Children of Light. Guess whose fault it is I ended up there? My fault. A voice in my head whispered, the one I thought I'd killed off. You drove her to it. At least it still said you, not I. That was something. I need someone to come and get me, she said. Come get you? I echoed, flat. I need you, she said. I don't have anyone else, just you. You don't have me, I said. Look, I don't like this either, she said. But if you do this one thing, I'll never ask again. Never? I asked, knowing she was lying. Never, she said, too quick. Then she rattled off an address, a convenience store near the Pennsylvania border. I'm counting on you, she said and hung up. I tried calling the payphone back. No answer. Typical. I didn't want to go. I swear I didn't. But that tiny doubt crept in. Maybe she thought I was coming. Maybe the call cut out. Stupid, I knew, but it was enough to pull me under. I pictured her alone, night falling, nowhere to go. She was awful, but if I left her there, wouldn't I be awful too? I could pick her up, drop her somewhere, be done. Prove I wasn't like her. At the next exit, I turned around. The drive was torture. 4 hours of my mind slipping away. Her voice echoed in my head, taken over. I tried to plan what to say, how to say strong, but every scenario ended badly. Best case, I'd see her and it would wreck me for weeks. Worst case, I'd be back in her trap, suffering until she stabbed me again, maybe for good this time. I blasted the radio, tried singing to down her out, but every song was about broken love, feeding that voice in my head. At a gas station near Buffalo, I stretched my legs, checked my phone. The Children of Light were in the cult, just a hippie farm collective, non-religious, selling crafts. Not the type to kick anyone out unless they had to. Knowing Tammy, or Star, they probably had to. I tried the payphone again. No answer. I kept driving. It was dark when I reached the store, a lonely spot on a quiet highway, fields all around. A weak flute light lit the lot. She sat on a curb by the payphone, knees up, paper bag of clothes beside her. She looked small, harmless, but I knew better. I remembered how she touched me when we first kissed, her hands hovering, like she was weaving a cage just bigger than my body. I parked, killed the lights, and waited. She didn't move, just stared ahead, eyes glinting. She wanted me to come to her. Anger flared. I wasn't her slave. But my hand opened the door and my legs carried me to her. "Star," I said. She didn't look up until I touched her shoulder. Then she sprang up, grabbing my arm. "I knew you'd come," she said, her voice breathy. Fake or not, I couldn't tell. "You still love me." "I'll take her where she wants," I told myself. Drop her off, never see her again. But she had other plans. "We need to go back to the cult," she said. "I left some things." "It's not a cult," I said. "I looked it up." "Who knows better, me or you?" she snapped. "It wasn't far," she said. "A few minutes. It was 20, and it felt like forever." She talked non-stop about us, our past, acting like we were still together. She leaned over, stroking my arm. I flinched, but she didn't care. Her voice filled the car, promising a little house, just us, a baby, her staying home while I worked. My heart jumped, even as I screamed inside. She mocked my shirt, said I needed her to keep me from looking like a fool. Finally, we reached the place, a cluster of buildings, dark fields around. I got out, told her to stay. "They kicked you out, right? I'll get your stuff." She shouted something as I knocked on the main door, but I blocked it out. A thin woman with a withered face answered. "I'm here for Star's things," I said, shaking her hand awkwardly. "Star? You mean Tammy?" she said. She started calling herself that. We humored her for a bit. She glanced at the car. "That's her?" "Yeah," I said. "Keep her there," she said, locking the door. She led me through a dining hall to a back room. 2 garbage bags sat on a cot, half full, knotted shut. "What's in them?" I asked. "Junk," she said. "Clothes, stuff, nothing anyone needs, especially her." I nodded, grabbed the bags. "She's bad news," the woman said. "We'd have sent her stuff, paid her bus fare. Why had you come?" I didn't know. I sank onto the cot, the bags beside me. Just need a moment," I said. She watched me, then left. How long could I stay? 10 minutes? 15? She'd come for me soon. But the door was locked. They wouldn't let her in. I could stay, beg the children of light for sanctuary, hide from her, from myself, lose the car, the world, small price to pay to be free. I took a deep breath. I'd stay, I told myself. I wouldn't move. Then I grabbed the bags and walked out to her, to my own ruin. Her voice locks him in a prison of his own mind, dragging him back to doom. Tell me in the comments, could you resist her call? Dare to face the next horror with me? Subscribe and ring the bell to stay cursed.